necessarily that nutsy here that are entomologists. But in 2021, it's the next 17-year locust immersion from the ground. And we're not talking thousands, it's millions. Now, when you have them emerging like that, the last time in 2004, in Charlottesville, Central Virginia, we did not have them. It was Northern Virginia,
Oh boy,
Northern Virginia, you know, and other places in the country, but you know, there were so many that you couldn't walk without stepping on them. The piles, this is, after they die, pass this around, this is what the piles look like under the trees.
That's the way it was at my house.
Dogs and squirrels and animals eat
Oh,
the
yes.
cicadas.
My dogs love them.
Yeah,
It was just
I mean, because, and so it's heaven for them until they get sick even,
Yep.
you know,
My
they'll,
sister's dog got sick.
yes, they'll get sick. Now, we have, every year, we will have cicadas that come out and emerge right everywhere. You know, that's called
Well, last year was a big year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
but it was a big year. just-
2013, right?
And,
We didn't have
but
very many last year.
yeah, it's,
I
now the
did.
ones, the local ones that we find all the time, I just saw one the other day downtown, still alive. These are a little different look, appearance. They have green, you know, bigger size.
Now what are those? Because I got
They're-
some of
they're-
those on my front porch.
They're all
Yeah,
cicadas.
I had
They're all,
one this week too.
they're all cicadas. Still at night. In the daytime, in the summer, you hear cicadas. Then at night, you're listening to katydids, which is a different animal, different insect. But every year, we're going to have some around here. It's only every 17 years that this gigantic masses of millions of them emerge from those trees. Now, they've been under the ground for 17 years. What they do is they lay, the adult lays eggs in the branches, and you can see these little slits on the branches where she laid the eggs. So she lays the eggs there. Look at the little slits, because a lot of the trees, if you now you can see where there were a lot of cicadas that had emerged, climbed the tree, and mated and laid their eggs. The end branches of the trees are brown. They're dead on the edges. I mean, on the edge of the edge. It didn't kill the tree, but it killed many tips of the branches, and they're brown like this. And you wonder, well, what happened to that tree? Well, it was cicadas.
Oh.
And the cicada egg hatches out of this little twig and drops on the ground. Then the little tiny larva burrows down to the ground and sucks on the roots for 17 years. Grows to be this larva right here, that little shell right there is an empty one, crawls out of the ground under that tree 17 years later, and then crawls up the tree or the post or wherever wherever they happen to be, and crawls out, emerges from that shell, crawls out the back of the shell, just like this one's doing, and then it's like this. It emerges from the shell, and those all have a split down the back, all those dried shells right there, where the cicada crawled right out of it, left the empty shell, crawled out. Its wings, at first it's real pale green, then the wings and everything dries and turns up the normal color. Then then the males start their singing for the females. And then they mate, they die, drop to the ground, and the whole cycle goes on again. So 2021 is when the next brood, they're called, that will be gigantic, will emerge. But every year we have them. They're just a different kind. One's called Dog Day, one's called periodic, and annual. The ones we have every year are annual ones. So if the tree has been there long enough, it's going to have cicadas down there. You know, they'll emerge either sometimes 7 years, sometimes 13 years. theirs than the 17-year one. The 17-year one's the biggie.
Were there
I
certain
don't know
types of
what we
trees
had
they
last
prefer?
They like, well, you know, it's gonna be under the big old oak trees and maple trees, the oldest trees.
And so
Any little
the
tree is not gonna
hardwoods,
have
the
I didn't have
hardwoods.
as many as my next.
hardwoods. I don't know about, I don't think.
Because I have
Now,
one pine. so I
all of
have-
this, yeah, I don't think pine so much.
Yeah.
Now, this is good for the earth, however. Scientists, I mean, as this decomposes, the earth becomes extremely rich, and for a couple of years after this kind of immersion, the trees are growing much faster because it's so rich. Okay, so there's a value, right? Big value in it. But the deafening sound is you know, really, really amazing. All right, now I'm not letting you out of here. Aha.
Well, last year, I had a little dogwood tree, it was about this tall.
Okay.
And I was out in the yard one day and I looked and it was whole.